Hey everybody, I'm Steve Piacenza.
And I'm Cathie Steve, and welcome back to Make It with Mod Podge.
Welcome everybody.
Thanks so much for joining us today. We've got 3 really fun spring floral fashion crafts to show you. They got a little bit of a flirty design, and we're going to be working with lots of different Mod Podge products to show you how to do these things.
Lots of color today.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I need some color.
Okay, so Mod Podge, we're going to be working with fabric, gloss, and dimensional magic, and that's what we're going to start off with.
We're going to be making all these really cool pendants with the dimensional magic.
Yeah, let's come on in here and show these pendants that we're going to be making here. This is with dimensional magic, all different kind of scrapbook paper styles. Look at that color. It's got beautiful shine on it. We're going to show you how to do that, and it's very, very easy.
And these are just done on wood discs. We're also going to be taking a plain pair of sneakers and giving them a floral makeover using fabric and the fabric Mod Podge. And we've got the Mod Podge Ultra. We're going to show you how you can seal your shoes with the Ultra. It's a really easy way to get a durable look on there.
Very strong stuff.
Yes.
We're also going to be transferring a plain old cap like this into something like this by using some fabric and some of those patches you guys have.
And I love that little tattered edge.
Yeah, this is going to be fun today. Should we start?
Let's do it. Before we get started though, we will be answering any questions live. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Be sure to tag Plaid Crafts and Mod Podge so that we can see what you're making, and maybe you can get featured for Fan Friday.
Yes.
And be sure to check out Plaid's online social channels so that we can all connect and you can stay on top of what our next video will be.
And also share this video, guys, for us. Okay, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to be making these pendants. Let me show you the one that we are going to be making today, and it's this one right here. And they're super cool. And really, really easy to make. You can see that shine on there. That is the dimensional magic. Now, what we like to say is the dimensional magic is like a faux resin. It is gives it a glass-like finish that is nice and hard. So anything that goes underneath it completely seals it and super clear.
And I think it almost makes the colors
pop.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, look at these. I mean, they're beautiful, and the great thing about the dimensional magic is you can make a bunch of these all at one time.
Oh yes.
And you know, if you're selling them, you can always gifts.
This is a huge craft for people that sell at bazaars, and definitely any kind of gift giving. This is perfect for that.
And here's the bottle right here, just to show you guys, because this is probably something you guys are going to want to get and use. At least try it out and see if you like it. It's really interesting stuff. Okay, so this is the one we're making right here, and all you're going to need is a wooden disc and your scrapbook paper. Now this, we used a 1-inch punch to use because it fit perfectly on this disc. Now we've also made these with dominoes,
Scrabble tiles,
chipboard, and we're going to put poker chips. Yes, we have a videos on this, and we're going to put them in the comments section.
Yes, I'll be sure to drop a link in there for you.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, I'm using the Mod Podge gloss, and we have our 1-inch disc here, and we're going to go right on top of the disc, just with our Mod Podge.
Now this paper came printed with the flowers on there. But if you had scrapbook paper with bigger flowers, you could reduce it on a copier, or if you have a home scanner.
Yes.
You can even layer up images. But we found this is just straight up scrapbook paper.
Then you're just gonna take your piece of paper there that I punched out with a 1-inch. You can move it around, make sure you get that right on top of it, and make sure your edges are all nice and even. You can see that. And then just go on top of it with your gloss, and you're gonna seal it. That's all you're gonna do. Now guys, with this particular project, you wanna let this sit overnight and dry completely. The reason why is because once we start using the dimensional magic here, it can't have any moisture underneath it, because otherwise it will crack. So let it dry completely for 24 hours, and then you can move on to the next step.
And I think that's true too. If you're doing a painting on it, if you add paint and then layer up, you really want that paint to dry 24 hours.
100%.
This dimensional magic will go over paper, paint, all sorts of things, but Really, really important to have that dry time.
Okay, now here's the fun stuff. Here's the magic part. This one here, I've already, it's a step out, so it's been completely dried for over 24 hours, and it's ready to go. Now what you wanna do with the Dimensional Magic, it's got this little nozzle right here with this little tiny hole at the top, so it's controlled, and you wanna start and work around the edges. Now what's fun about this is, you'll see that it won't go off the edge. You don't have to push very hard. It kind of, the bottle does the work on its own. So you want to hit the edges first, go all the way around, and you can already see almost, it's wet, but it still gives it that three-dimensional lift.
Yeah, it's almost like a bubble. Like you get like a dome.
Yeah.
And one thing too is you don't want to shake your bottle because you don't want to get any air bubbles.
And if you do get an air bubble, you would just use a pin to pop that. Now I'm filling this in and I'm starting again around the edge and working my way all the way around and filling in the center. And you can really kind of see it. It's easy to work with. Just fill that up. And that's it, and that looks pretty complete. Now I was lucky I didn't get an air bubble in that. If I did, you can either use a pin or you can use a toothpick. Now you wanna let this sit and dry for 24 hours in a non-drafty place. So I think I might do have a little air bubble right there. Non-drafty place, let that dry completely. And once that dries, again, it's gonna give you this nice, hard, shiny finish, that faux resin, that glass-like, and that's the way it's going to turn out. Now let me show you on the back here. We have 3 of them here, and we just glued on these bales on the back. We got a silver, a gold, and a brass one. It's as simple as just gluing those to the back of those, and then chaining them right on up with lots of different things. We've used over here, we have leather, we have ribbon, we've got this beaded one, so you can really go crazy with this stuff.
And one thing I want to show you too is we used a scrapbook paper that had one solid design. The flowers were on it, but you can do a background like on this wood chip here. We just put the pink polka dots, and that's what this one is here. We just layered up small cutout pieces. So we showed you how to do one piece onto it, but you can layer up different pieces onto your design. Like Absolutely. It's endless. And we were even
collage. Make a collage on these things.
Yes, exactly, a mini collage.
Sure.
So fun. You could do magazine cutouts, whatever you want.
All sorts of things. Yeah.
I think these are so cute. I love the bright, fun colors for spring and summer.
Yeah.
So next up is our shoe makeover.
Shoes.
So we got some plain shoes here, and I want to show you how you can turn them into these floral shoes. Now we're using floral, of course, if you wanted polka dots or you wanted, I don't know, some licensed character, strawberry shortcake, whoever you wanted. Just find the fabric that you want to use, and you can do this project with that fabric. This is a very popular craft for kids' shoes, and again, for selling. People make these and sell them at bazaars. You can do the all over like that, or you can do one simple design just like this. And that's a fun way if you just want a little hint of something and you don't want an all over design. It's kind of a trendy look there. A little bit simpler, but trendy. So for the shoes, we're starting with a plain shoe, and I think my favorite, if I'm doing florals, is to use an all-over floral design. This is non-directional, so some of the flowers are going this way and some are going this way, and that's really going to be helpful when you want that sort of collage look on your shoe. We're using fabric. You can also use napkins for this project or printed tissue paper. I've gone ahead and pre-cut out a few pieces because I want to show you the basic steps. This piece here, I like to start on the sides of the shoe, and I've cut out a piece where I just line it up, and I use my fabric scissors. I like to use detailed fabric scissors so they have a sharp point, and you just cut along that edge till you get the shape. If you miss or you're off a little bit, don't worry, because you can always patch another piece over there. So you're gonna apply the fabric Mod Podge to the back of your fabric. And it's really simple. It's not too thick, not too thin, but make sure each piece is coated. Just coat it like that. And then I'm ready to put it into position. And you've got plenty of time to move it how you want it. So for this design, I'm not going past this line. So I'll just continue to sort of move it into position. Fabric is very forgiving. So you can keep picking it up and just pushing it into position. Got a little bit of a fold there. So go ahead and smooth that part out. If you go over like that, don't worry, because we'll just cut that away. And we've got that first piece down. Now at this point, I'm not going to seal it because I'm gonna keep layering up and then I'm gonna seal it all at the end. So for the toe, this is like a Tom shoe. You're probably familiar with Toms. And the Tom shoe has a distinctive little fold there, and we wanna keep that fold for that kind of trendy look. And to do that, you're just gonna cut another piece. And again, I didn't really measure any of these pieces. All I was concerned about is getting that line there. So you're gonna add some more Mod Podge. This is the fabric formula, not gloss, not matte. This is fabric, it's got the blue label. So I've got a piece here, just kind of randomly cut. And what I'm gonna do is line up the center of it with the natural part on that shoe. I hope you can see that. If you have any of these little straggler threads, you can either pull them or cut them away at the end. So get that lined up. And then I have it, hope you guys can see this, a little bit loose. You're gonna fold it and create that pleat. And you'll do the same thing with this side. Fold it and create that pleat. And see how now we've got that sort of distinctive Tom's mark. So these are a knockoff Tom's, but of course you could do this on the real deal. Now I've got lots of bits here. At this point, what I would do is go ahead and I would do my other side, but for time, I'm not gonna do that because you've learned how to do that here. So you would do that same thing here, and then you would just keep layering small pieces. So here's a small piece, and I wanna show you how you cover up that toe area. So we're just going to add our fabric Mod Podge. And you can see that I cut around the flowers. It's not a real perfect shape. It doesn't need to be. That's the beauty of using these sort of all over prints. And then you'll just place it into position wherever you want it, just like that. And you would continue doing that until the entire shoe is filled in. And you can see here, I went around the V, and then let's see, there's gotta be a few, where's a place, let me find. Like right here, here's where I added a little extra piece. So if you have a little spot where you missed something, you just go in and cut a little bit out and then fill that in. It's that easy. Now to seal the shoe, there's two things. One is once all the fabric was down, you would just go in and give that a nice all over seal with the fabric Mod Podge, just like that. Very, very simple. Now, once that's done, you're gonna let that dry for 24 hours. And then, just to give it that extra kick of durability, we like to seal it with the Ultra. So this is the Mod Podge Ultra. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little shake and prime it. Prime it just by pumping it. And now, let's see if we can come on in and get a good look at this. So this is just my little work tray. And to seal it, the Mod Podge Ultra comes in the spray bottle. You're just gonna go in and spray right over that. This shoe's been drying right here for 24 hours. And spray it like that. Now you're gonna let that sit for another 24 hours. And once that's dry, this one's been drying for 24 hours with all the coats on it, you are ready to go. This is going to be, if it starts raining, you're okay. If you're doing these for kids and they're like out running around, it's going to be super durable this way. It's the fastest, fun makeover I can see, right?
It is, and the Ultra is durable. You know what I was thinking about it? Like, you know how you have shoes and they get dirty sometimes?
Yes.
And you can't get those stains out? It's
yeah.
this is perfect to make them look brand new again.
Oh yeah. If you have old sneakers, you can just cover them. I've done this technique so many times for the girls to make like a coordinated look for them.
Yeah.
And they love it and I love it.
Personalized.
And I do have to tell you, I cheated and I bought these shoes for this project in my size.
There you go. You got yourself a new set of shoes.
Soon you will see me wearing these.
All right.
Once they dry.
Let's move on to the cap then. So we're going to be using the fabric Mod Podge once again, and we're going to be turning this plain old cap into something like this here. Now this is a great project for even like school spirit, or again, if you want to coordinate with friends and stuff. It's just fun because you can personalize them any which way you'd like using the fabric Mod Podge. Again, it's the blue label here.
This hat really screams like outdoor concert to me too.
Outdoor concert
like,
too.
Keeping the sun off, but you want something fun and cute.
Yes. We're using fabric, any type of fabric you'd like, and we're also going to use a patch. So this is a fun way to use up that old fabric that you have. You can layer fabric up. You can get those old patches. Fabric on top of fabric. So that's what this project is. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna just take our fabric and we're gonna do, on the back side, we're gonna add our fabric right directly on top of the fabric. Again, like Cathie said earlier, it's not a thick layer, it's not a thin layer. Just make sure you hit all the areas because you wanna make sure this sticks right on down on top of your, whatever you're placing it on top of. And today it's on top of this cap. Get a nice layer on that. And then we're going to peel this up and we're just going to position it where you want to. So, let me see. It's
you gotta work upside down.
I'm working upside down, guys. So here we go.
Let's see your landing.
Here we go. We're gonna try to make this nice and straight. And I'm gonna have a little bit right there on the bottom. I want that white edge to show. And there we go. Just like that. How does that look? Pretty good?
Looks good to me.
It looks good. And then you're gonna just press it down all the way around. Just make sure you seal that down right on top. None of those edges you want lifted up.
And those edges are frayed.
Yes, because it's torn fabric there. To give it that look.
A little bit of a tattered look.
A little tattered look. So you're just gonna push that down. And there we have it. And now we're ready to move on to the next step. Again, this is a no-sew project, which I like. So this is the patch we found, and we're just going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to add our Mod Podge, fabric Mod Podge, right onto the back of that patch, and just make sure you get it all the way around, hitting all the edges. Just a nice medium layer like that, and we're just going to drop that down right into the center of this, on top of that fabric, getting it nice and even. There you go. Okay, let's lift it up. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to work this way for 1 second because I want this to be straight. Okay, there you go. And now we're gonna just push this down and make sure all those edges are down, and just give it a nice push. And
yeah, you do you can blue tape it down if you've got the low-tech painter's tape.
Yeah.
You can use that to secure it or just press it with your hand for a little bit.
yeah, and you're just gonna let that set aside for, again, 24 hours. And there you go. You got yourself a nice hat, a nice custom hat, however you like.
And one that matches your new sneakers.
That's right. There you go.
So this is really fun if you're going to some sort of outdoor concert or something like that and you want to create a coordinated look. You can create sneakers, a hat, and jewelry all to match in some fun floral designs for spring.
With the fabric Mod Podge. There we go.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Let's do a quick recap.
Yes.
We created these fun pendant necklaces using wood, circles, and dimensional magic.
Dimensional magic.
Here's our
right
dimensional
here.
magic.
Mm-hmm.
These can be layered up with leather cords, chains, whatever you want. We also showed you how to make over shoes, and of course, our cute little hat.
There we go. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody.
We'll see you next time. Be sure to tag Plaid Crafts and Mod Podge.
See you later.